Everyone, call the meeting to order. Please be aware, RMB Council meetings are live streamed to facebook.com/Belfast PEI. Live stream comments are not monitored in real time. During the council meeting, visitors, please remember to sign in. Thank you. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge that the land upon which our organization stands is unceded Mi'kmaq territory. We pay our respects to the indigenous Mi'kmaq people. I missed the line. Abigail Mi'kmaqi is covered by the historic treaties of peace and friendship. We pay our respects to the indigenous Mi'kmaq people who have occupied this land for over 12,000 years, past, present, and future. Do any members of council have a conflict of interest with any items on today's agenda?
I just wanted to note, Councillor Carter's not here, but she would be in conflict of interest on item 22.
It's 21.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, continue Canada Post operation in Bell River.
Oh, yeah,
is
okay.
21.
21.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make note in the minutes. She would have had to declare that next meeting, so this saves her from doing that.
Are there any other suggested agenda items for today's meeting to be placed?
Sorry, yeah, I would like to combine 22 and 20 in efforts of saving time this evening.
Yes.
I would also, do we need a motion for that or no?
No.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we defer items 24, 25, and 26 to the September meeting. For everyone here in the live stream, the reason is that Councillor McIrvin called for that in camera session and she's unable to be here tonight.
On that one, does anybody have a problem with that? No? Okay. I also have an item. Councillor McGivern, as you know, is not able to be here tonight. She has a personal matter that she's unable to attend and has asked that we request an excused absence for her. So that'll be near the end.
Yes.
I'm 23.
Do we need a mover and a seconder for Catherine's motion?
No, we just need mover and a seconder as amended on number 3.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. RCMP report for the month of July. Ashley?
Okay, so our incident rate is down slightly and is still the lowest in Eastern Kings. Even with the additional guests visiting our island, traffic, with increased traffic, our municipality continues to maintain respectable numbers. For access to detailed RCMP reports, you can visit the RMB website, www.ruralmunicipalityofbelfast.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Public presentations, if any. Members of the public are offered 5 minutes to make a presentation to council. Reminder, should any member of the public wish to speak on any issue on today's agenda, this is the time for it. All other agenda items are reserved for council participation. Are there any public presentations?
We did have Peter White who had requested to mention something, but he's not here. So
Doesn't seem to be in the queue.
Then we will push that to September. I'll email him.
Okay, adoption of the July 15th, 2026 council meeting minutes. Attached, previously distributed. All suggested changes have already been incorporated. May I have a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes of the July 15th, 2026 council meeting as presented?
Nope.
Moved by Lynn, seconder.
I'll second.
Second by Catherine. All in favor? Aye. Nays? Motion carried. Adoption of the July 22nd CAO subcommittee meeting minutes attached on this council agenda for approval of the subcommittee members only, as no other CAO subcommittee meetings are planned at this time.
So the only three voting members on this here today would be Jim, Catherine, Lynn, and yourself.
May I have a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes of the July 22, 2026 CAO subcommittee as attached, previous and presented? Yeah, one of you.
So,
Moved by Lynn. Seconder,
Oh, I'll second, sorry.
all in favor?
Aye.
I'm still reading it,
We're not discussing that.
but we're not discussing this.
No, no, we're gonna do that in September. Yeah, yeah.
Nays? Motion carried. Adoption of the July 30th, 2026 special council meeting minutes. Attached previous distributed, all suggested changes already incorporated. May I have a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes of the July 30th, 2026 special council meeting as presented? Moved by Billy, seconder,
Second.
Lynn, all in favor?
I don't see the item in there that they're gonna return that money.
Yes,
Is that in there somewhere?
it is in the financial plan that was provided.
I think it was in something that we
Yeah.
approved. I do remember seeing it.
Yeah, it was the approved financial plan that we gave to finance PES.
It might not be
You
in
mentioned
these
it.
minutes, but it's within this bylaw.
Right.
So we passed that bylaw and it does say that specifically inside the
So it says
bylaw.
that's specific.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct.
All in favor to move the August 5th, 2026 special council meeting minutes?
I'll move.
Second,
All in favor? Aye. Nays? Motion carried. CAO reports. Bob Brooks.
Thank you, Your Worship. Everything is on track for our expenditures, and all the community grants now are all paid with the exception of the monthly ongoing to the fire hall and the community pantry. So they were all actually paid out early. And I also, just to let you know, I had a discussion with our auditor this morning. Everything's on track for her to have a discussion with myself and Ashley within the next couple of weeks. So we'll be able to put the audited financial statements on the agenda for next September. So everything's on track and as it should be with the finances.
Okay, thank you, Bob. 11, Belfast Rural Fire Department Fire Hall funding update.
So for the benefit of the live stream, I'll read it out. So it's the Belfast Rural Fire Department Fire Hall funding update. Per council's resolution number RES 2026 decimal or dash 002, made during the special council meeting of August 5th, the reserve funds bylaw, the resolution, the financial ask, breakdown, the minutes of the council meeting, and our MB's latest audited financial statements were all sent to Finance PEI. Finance PEI required those documents from RMB so they could start the financing process with the Belfast Rural Fire Department for the fire hall expansion project. That process is underway. Still no word regarding the finance application with Canada. However, our MP McDonald, his office, us and the fire department to continue to follow the process closely. And in fact, I sent off a message to MP Kent McDonald's assistant today to see if he could look into any other word that might be coming. No word to date, but they are following up for us. The contractor Riley and Sons Construction recently confirmed that the project is on track for completion in this fiscal year. And also both Joanne and I confirmed with, Finance PEI that all the documents have been received. And, Finance PEI estimates that a couple more weeks, they'll be able to have the, documents ready.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So were Riley and Sons, were they able to be paid? Like,
Yes.
have they been paid? Okay.
Yeah, so, in the progress, invoices that they've sent so far, yes.
Okay.
When it says here to, completion this fiscal year, is that our fiscal year or is that January 3rd, December 31?
That's the
That's on
March
the fiscal
31
year.
fiscal year. That's when it was confirmed that it should be, the
So they'll
fire
take
hall project should be completed around that time.
next May, next March.
Yeah. that-
31.
Be a long time to me to finish a little building like that.
Well, the contractor is fairly confident that that was the timeline he was given. And he says he's on track to complete it in that timeline.
Great.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Oh, the mayor's meeting at the Pilot House. Okay, provide an update on the meeting at the Pilot House regarding FCM and PEI, no,
FPIM.
FPEIN. Okay, I was invited to the Pilot House on July the 20th for a social, and I got there just before 7. I met with PEI, what is it?
FPIM.
FPEIM members Lori and Bruce, chatted with others as they arrived. Had a meeting with Philip Brown, Mayor of Charlottetown, and Steve Ogden of Stratford, Jeff Spencer from Kensington, and a deputy mayor from Rustico, David Leclerc, and a councillor from Three Rivers, and Ben Dunkersgood. And we met with, had a meeting with their MLA, Kent Dollar. He's the minister in charge of the
Yes.
MGA and things like that. And we spent a couple hours there, and there was 2 members from the national board, one from Thunder Bay and another from Halifax. Chatted with them a while and had some food and came home.
Good job, Bart.
Pardon?
Good meeting?
There was no meeting.
Oh, I mean.
Oh,
It's just
just, yeah, just
social.
social, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know you were going. I bailed at the last minute, so thank you for representing Belfast.
Sure.
Thank you for your report, Garth.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, next. Calgary Foundation Grant, In and Out Rec Center, admin Ashley.
Okay, so as reported at our last council meeting, a donor wants to submit a grant to the Belfast Rec Center and needs a host to help deliver the funds. I spoke to the donor stewardship advisor and she hopes that their office will have paperwork for us so that the Belfast Rec Center could start receiving funding support in September. I will have another update for RMB at the next council meeting. That's all.
That's great.
Um,
That's exciting.
When you say host,
Yes.
what's that mean?
So it'll be an in and out grant.
Okay,
Similar to the arena grant,
Okay.
similar to the community foundation grants.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you. And do we have an update on our Wood Islands Market area playground, Deputy Mayor?
I can do it.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I can do it. So, RMB staff, spoke with Todd St. Clair, the executive director of the Wood Islands and Area Development Corporation, who suggested that RMB explore potential funding opportunities in 2027, in collaboration with, WIDAC on the development of a playground space here at the Wood Islands Market. The WIDAC board is very supportive of Deputy Mayor Doherty's idea of her proposal, and they would welcome the addition of a playground as a way to further enhance the facility and provide a new amenity for visitors and families in the community. The board director, John Russo, stopped by RMB office to personally express the board's support and to thank Lynn for her forward-thinking approach on this project. As a follow-up, Todd St. Clair, the executive director there, contacted the insurance provider for the Wood Islands Market regarding the potential playground. And the insurer advised that additional insurance costs are expected to be minimal and that the playground would fall under the existing policy that WIDAC currently carries. It was suggested that possibly a preliminary concept draft plan outlining the type of playground equipment that RMB would like to see in the space be brought forward and provided to their insurance company that would allow them to provide a more accurate assessment of any potential increase to the current policy cost. A further update will be provided to council in September once Lynn and I have met with the WIDAC board after the 70-mile yard sale is over, because they, as you know, they are quite busy with that at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's all for now, and thank you.
Okay.
Can I ask a couple questions about that?
Sure.
So I assume, since this is Deputy Mayor Doherty, like bringing this forward, that they would be seeking like community grant money. Has that been
We haven't talked, we're talking external grant money, not
Okay.
through RMB at this
Okay,
point. It
okay.
would be different funding streams.
okay?
Participation. Something.
It would be, yeah.
Okay, okay, because yeah, again, like this was a concern I brought
This is
forward
something-
before, that
a
just
separate-
like potential favoritism, right?
No, we
So I
are
just wanted to make
keeping it
sure.
separate.
Okay,
I think that's the right way to go for
Mhm.
this project, so.
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you for reading that,
You're
because I had it on my phone, so.
Yeah.
No problem.
Appreciate that.
Because this is really a WIDAC operation. Like they're, what are their development corporation with their own staff that can look after your stuff, why are we involved, other than giving a letter of support?
Typically on all these kind of projects, if they have a buy-in from the rural council, from the municipal council, then there's more likelihood that they can leverage that support to get other funding, like as Gar said, participation and or tourism and or
There are lots of,
there's
Yeah.
two other funding agencies, but if they get a government or municipal government buy-in, then they're more likely to be supportive of the application
So.
for that reason.
Shouldn't our involved just be giving them a letter of support?
Well, they need assistance right now just to figure out which way they want to go. So it may be that all we need to do is give a letter of support, but at this point, there's a lot of research that is required.
They're also not initiating this. It's
Yeah.
coming from,
Right, it was an
Yeah.
idea from RMB.
yeah. It's us that's presenting it to them. So at this point, we should probably do the preliminaries and not just say, here's our idea, you guys.
Make
it's a
it work.
collaboration.
It's a collaboration, exactly. Yeah.
And so with that being said, like if this is successful, I'd really love to see us working with UCDC as well to try to do the exact same thing for them.
Mhm,
Okay.
I agree.
I'll add that to my notes. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you.
Absolutely.
You're up again.
Okay, getting a nurse practitioner in the RMB municipality, Mayor Doherty and Ashley Feschuk. 18.
All right, so first of all, I want to thank Minister Corey Deagle for taking the time to meet with myself and CAO Brooks on Monday, as well as our MLA, Darlene Compton. She was also in attendance at the meeting, as well as Deputy Minister Lisa Tibu, and the Health PEI CEO Lori Klaczynski, along with their respected administrative support. I would also like to thank the Belfast Rural Fire Department for providing our office with statistics prior to that meeting, as well as the Belfast residents who showed their support, their continued support of this RMB initiative by commenting on our Facebook post last Wednesday. I do think it was a very positive meeting in the sense that we were able to reopen communication with Health PEI and begin reestablishing some context around this initiative. This, as you know, is not a new project. It was originally initiated and documented by our municipal office in 2021 and has gained some momentum as sort of a legacy project at the moment. The work undertaken over the years has been driven by the recognition that access to healthcare is an ongoing challenge for our residents in rural communities, and that the municipality has a role in advocating for those solutions. I appreciated the opportunity to remind Health PEI of the countless hours and work spearheaded by Councillor Mary Meacher Carlson, along with Mayor Gillis, CEO Bob Brooks, and administration. Originally, talks began with Andrew McDougall, the Executive Director for Health PEI, back in 2021. And they showed promise at that time. However, the space that RMB was renting was not conducive to the needs of Health PEI and their requirements. So the talks were put on hold. I don't want to overstate what came out of the meetings because I still have questions that I'm waiting on answers for, particularly around whether or not there are other healthcare initiatives maybe being considered for our area. So I'm waiting for those responses at the moment from some of the parties that were in attendance. I would also characterize the meeting as a real step in the right direction, but not an outcome. So we have reopened the door and we are once again on the radar of Health PEI. Now we need to see whether or not we're able to get some meaningful follow through. The RMB space here has been offered. So we were very clear about that at the meeting. And I even suggested, as I often do, volunteering some of my own personal time to support an individual who might be willing to come and assist our residents with their healthcare needs 1 day a week. I think the residents of Belfast deserve both optimism and honesty, and that's what I can give them. If any of the other parties provide further updates with permissions, of course, to share, I will do so at upcoming meetings. In the efforts of full transparency from RMB office, I will be sharing the notes that I brought with me to that meeting on the RMB website. In closing, one of the main points that I raised is that Belfast population is aging, and not everyone has the ability to access and navigate online resources. As a rural community, reliable internet access can also be a challenge in some areas. This was made even more clear to me with some of my conversations that I've had recently with some of the residents. For example, I've had a 79-year-old resident who regularly calls our office and asks me if I can book her an appointment because she's been waiting for a family doctor since 2019. So that's a powerful reminder that access to healthcare cannot simply depend on a person's ability to access an online resource system. They actually need somewhere to go and sit down and have a face-to-face conversation. So our Facebook post regarding this issue received significant engagement and generated enough interest that CBC reached out this afternoon and would like to have an interview with our office. And I'm requesting, I'm going to leave that decision with council as to whether or not they would like either myself or Deputy Mayor Doherty to speak to this issue, or if you would prefer to just let this statement stand on its own. It's completely up to you, but I do need to let them know by tomorrow morning. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.
Okay, I was wondering, I requested that when this first came up, if, for the municipality to be in contact with Murray River to see what their experience was, because they wanted to get a nurse practitioner years ago. In fact, they built a building and they built a space. Everything is turning, do they have that? Is that underway?
Their office was closed the last time I went there, Jim, so I wasn't able to get you the answers that you've requested. it's on my list, so.
We did bring up the
We did.
example of the Morel unit, and they had said, or in that meeting, the deputy minister talked about the fact that they were looking at all the different models, and they're exploring as many alternatives as possible. Actually, I think it was, wasn't it finance or Health PEI that was saying they had some knowledge of some other examples, but right now everything's up in the air. They're basically,
We're just reopening the conversation and reestablishing the work that we started in 2021.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. And like I said, we want to work collaboratively, and we hope that we can do that going forward on any other initiatives that may be proposed for this area. We're happy to work with various groups in order to achieve what we want to achieve for our residents. And that's where we're going to leave it today. I just need to know from council if you would like to, if you would like a CBC interview or not.
Yes, please.
I propose that Ashley be the person that talks to him, or Ashley and Lynn together, if that's possible.
Mhm.
Because they-
So I don't want to
Well, no,
volunteer.
no,
There's multiple times that we could try and work around, so it could be a joint
It could
initiative.
be over the phone. I could
It
make this up a bit.
absolutely, I think, well, from the sounds of it, it would be, so we can talk about it more later as long as you're open to that.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm fully in support of that. So if we need a motion, I'm happy to
no,
make
we
that
don't.
motion.
Sure.
Okay.
I have a question about the Murray River Clinic. I know they built that strip mall and put an office in there, but I don't think they ever got a practitioner.
There is a practitioner.
There is.
There was a number on the door with the name of the practitioner.
Okay.
I'm not sure of
Yeah.
the hours or
Yeah,
anything like
okay.
that, but
They
there
did-
is
they did find
information
a
on the door.
practitioner somewhere.
There
Okay.
is information on the door, whether or not that's up to date.
Yes,
And whether or not that person's actually still there, I can't speak to that.
Yeah,
Right?
okay.
So I'm just letting you know that
Okay.
when I stopped by after work one day, that's what I noticed. Because
Okay.
I was hoping to talk to someone in person to follow up on Jim's,
questions.
yes,
Mm,
of course,
okay.
concerns, yeah.
So Health PEI, or I should say, the provincial government, their policy then is to develop some of these, what are they, health hubs?
I'm not,
Well, are we on the line?
They're not there yet.
I'm not able to speak to any of that right now. We don't have that information.
Yeah.
They- They
Ashley's
said
just
everything's
trying
up in the air at the moment.
Yeah, she's just trying to open channels for
And
for these conversations.
Yeah, but
right?
also reestablish the groundwork that we laid out in 2021.
Mhm.
Not we, but specifically Mayor Gillis, Bob Brooks, and Mary Meacher Carlson, who's a Montague resident, or Montague girl. Yeah, so anyway, there you go.
So these health hubs, how many of them are in operation now? Anybody know?
That would be a health PI.
That's something I could
question.
follow up with you on, if you have questions that I
Well,
can.
I'm just wondering if during their planning stages, or whether or not there's anything down in the southeast area of the province, do they plan on having one down here?
I've asked that question. I'm still waiting for follow-up, Jim. That's
Anything else? Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, don't go far.
I won't.
Harassment policy for RMB, progress to date.
Oh, where are we now? Okay.
Number
Oh,
16.
yeah, okay, so. So I brought this forward last month since we're legally required to have one in place. It's legal, it's a legal requirement. And subsequently sent it to council, sent council the adopted policy that was approved and vetted by the legal for, Eastern Kings. I'm just waiting on members of council to, some of you did get back to me. I'm still waiting on a few others to see if there were any edits or if what we were given is sufficient for us to move forward with. If there are no comments made on this tonight, I would suggest we follow up on it in September. But it should be established since it is a legal requirement.
It should be on the agenda in September.
Yes.
To pass. So we're hoping that anybody who has not commented on that policy,
Yeah.
please get your comments in, because it will be on the September agenda.
I particularly like to have one, I like the provincial government's policy because they put in, they have a clause in there about what is actually excluded from it. And it's from harassment management actions, standard reasonable actions taken by supervisors or employers to direct work, conduct performance reviews, or apply valid disciplinary measures do not constitute harassment. And the second thing that they have, that what is excluded is normal pressures, ordinary everyday workplace stress, and regular operations duties are excluded. If that's not in the Eastern Kings one we're looking at, that those two items should be
You
added
can
to.
send those to me and I'll check and see if they're already in there if you'd like, if you haven't read through it yet.
Yeah,
I can do that
I read
for
through
you.
the provincial one,
Mhm.
which seemed reasonable to me.
Just forward it to me, please, Jim, and I'll take a look for you. Thank you.
Robert has a question?
Yeah, just back to 15, you mentioned collaboration, which is great. Uh, I'm just hoping that you be in contact with the local MLA, because
I
that's
have
great.
been. Yeah, she was
She was
CC'd
at the meeting.
initially also in 2021 on all of the initiatives that we started back then.
Yeah,
And it was so gracious of her to lend her time to come to the meeting on Monday. And I also invited her, to all of our council meetings to provide residents with updates going forward, because we'd love to hear from her and work collaboratively. Yeah, so we thank her for that.
Anything else?
You're up
The
again.
harassment
Oh,
policy.
it's me. Oh, my goodness. Where are we now?
Take a drink of water.
No,
Are
17.
we finished with the harassment policy discussion?
Yeah,
Jim? A bit
Jim.
more?
Jim's gonna send.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna send the
Okay.
two items that are.
Okay, a new code of conduct bylaw for RMB as required by the Municipal Government Act, MGA. Admin Ashley
I'm
Fester.
not trying to make more work for us. These are actually like legal
Yeah.
requirements that we have to have. Oh, so council should be aware that RMB is legally required to have a code of conduct bylaw. When we do not have one in place at the
Actually,
moment.
We do have a code of conduct, but what they require is it needs to be updated on a regular basis, and we have not
No, not since.
updated. Right,
a while
not since
back.
we established ours
Yeah.
originally.
Right,
So, we do have one, but it's now required
yeah.
to be updated.
And again, Eastern Kings shared their document with us. So we can look at that and compare, and see what we may have missed or, you know,
Changes.
yes.
Yeah.
And again, I am open to edits. So if you have anything that you would like to see in there, within, you know, that's appropriate, please forward it to me and I can add it to that draft.
So
And that's-
as in the harassment policy, that is, to be on the agenda for September as well.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you for that clarification, because I do remember bringing that up. I don't know when it was, last year, the year before.
Yeah, it was
At
2
some
years
point I
ago.
put it on.
2 years ago, they said they wanted, all the councils to make sure they updated their code of conduct bylaw for the current term of the council members.
Okay, I'm happy to,
Yeah, sure.
Ashley, I'm happy to like lend my time for that as well. So if you don't mind sending me the information, I can look that over.
That would be great. Thank you,
Okay.
Catherine.
No problem. Now I'm off.
Okay, draft letter for FPEIM for council comments. Councillor Bryson.
So this is building off of, previous council, special council meetings, I believe, regarding the fire department. So this is kind of an ongoing initiative that's been both municipal and provincial. The issue is that our fire departments are seeing an increased number of, first responder medical calls. And they've not received an increase funding from the province in regard to that increased response due to decreased ambulance service. So this is an ongoing issue, or an ongoing issue that FBIM has brought forward a couple times to various municipal ministers, because if I recall, we've had 4 in the last 2 to 3 years. So there's been a lot of turnaround, there's been a lot of discussions. We have Minister Kent Dollar in place now, so we are continuing those discussions with the province. So what Ashley and I would drafted is just a letter. Essentially, the purpose of it is to it would be sent to FBIM to use throughout their discussions with the province. And also I'm asking that we send it directly to both our MLA, Darlene Compton, and Minister Kent Dollar and Premier Robert Lance. I did see one typo in it though, just the that I previously missed, that it says RE request for increase. It says federal support. I'm just asking that we change that to provincial.
Sure.
And if anyone else saw anything that they'd like changed.
Just had a question. You had said that it was on the FBIM agenda for a while now. Have they already had some preliminary discussions and or if they have any progress?
Well, there's been ongoing, as you know, Bob, there's been ongoing negotiations with the province regarding the restructuring
Yes.
of the financing between the province and the municipality. So it's just part of that ongoing negotiation. You know, timelines change. I think at one point we were supposed to have things finalized last year and then it got bumped and things, you know, are continually progressing. So just to provide them just concrete, like I've obviously brought it up at FBIM meetings, as have multiple other municipalities, but just something for them in writing that they can take forward to their meetings to say, this is actually what's going on and this is what municipalities need.
I could actually see them coming out with two streams. Well, one stream that talks about the first responder calls, medical and emergency calls that way. And then the other one about fire protection. So I know that they're having the overall one about fire protection, but yeah, if it worked out to be two streams, that would actually be a lot more clear.
Which is why this is even more timely that we need to get it to them, because the province is currently overhauling how they finance all of the provincial municipal fire services. So it's just kind of on both of those ends to try to get in there. And that being said, actually, is it Minister Blaise Thompson that does EMO safety? Like, perhaps we'll have to look that up, but whoever directly deals with fire service, we should CC them on this email as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I noticed you said, you mentioned on there, I haven't seen this letter exactly, but you mentioned a reduction. That it was as a result of a reduction of EMS circs in the area. Is that a fault? Is there had been a reduction of emergency measures?
Well, I think
You know,
it's
officially,
been,
they've said they're not gonna send them down here as much.
no, that's not what I mean. I mean, like, it's been ongoing since COVID time, right? There's been a reduction of staff and increased calls and, you know, we're very far away. So it's just, it's harder for.
The response times are much longer.
Exactly. So what's happening is our fire department is faster, getting to those calls faster. They're feeling the need to get there faster because the ambulance isn't there and they have a first responder bag and they've had the training. So they are doing a lot more medical calls. Also, Ashley, I believe you have statistics, don't you?
I'm wondering, I'm going to ask the fire department if it's okay if I share those with you, with council.
Yeah, because if we
And
could
then
have
it would,
numbers.
yeah, there are firm numbers. They were very quick to get them to us, so we're really lucky that they were able to compile them so quickly. And it does give us a window into how much time they actually deal with spending on medical incidents versus
Structure
yeah,
fires,
exactly.
I think
So
Joanne said that 75 to 80% of their calls are medical.
Yeah.
The thing is too, that, I mean, they're volunteers, whereas the EMS is a unionized group. I mean, they're having union troubles right now, but they're a unionized group. They have supports for when they're going to these medical calls for the shit they'll see. Like, I mean, they
emotional.
they see a lot of stuff sometimes and they don't have that that route to get, you know, any therapy or anything like that. So it is, they should have funding with the increase that they're doing of that job.
Just to clarify that, the fire department does have access to separate therapists.
Yeah.
And your counselors or whatever the correct term is, they do have, access to that. They've had that in place for some time. But again, it's stretched thin.
yeah,
It's stretched
it's
thin.
lacking.
And so considering that, whatever the statistic is, if it's 80%, 70%, even if it's 60%, that's a huge amount of time that's being spent on these volunteer community members that are, seeing
I'll follow up.
really, really,
Horrific.
exactly, difficult situations and it's your neighbor, right? So, it would be nice if we could somehow get either an additional funding stream or just additional funds in general, just to support their initiative
The
without
thing
that.
too, with them being volunteers, you never know who's going to be available, and not having the EMS always available, you can be left in a situation where there might not be firefighters that are close by, and
Mhm.
it leaves us in a tough spot being so far away from, because usually I think the main spot they station up at is at Buster's in Cherry Valley, and that's quite a
Yeah,
ways from here.
and the other ones would be in Montague
Yeah.
at the hospital, so yeah, the response time, obviously, someone in Wood Islands, you're
Yeah,
gonna get a firefighter from Wood Islands, it's gonna get there a lot quicker
Yeah.
than driving from Cherry Valley or Montague, so.
I see their rock response unit, parked in Shriner's building at, Eldon Lot
Mhm.
as well.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they stick around as much as they can, but, so yeah, if we could send that would be,
I'll
I think
follow
that
up
would be
with you on
helpful.
the stats tomorrow.
Great, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Okay, Robert?
Yeah, just to comment on that. I don't know what the fire department has planned for the building that they're gonna empty and put into the new building. But it might be, I would think that'd be a good suggestion for EMS to maybe have that as a spot where they can park if they're gonna park it, not park it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I just do a little point of
That's-
order,
that's standard.
remind of line item number
That's
5,
what-
please.
At Hollis, with the EMS, they park in, a lot of times in the fire departments because they've got, still, they can go inside.
Yeah, that's the point. Like, I asked a couple of members what their plans were. They said they don't have any plans for the old building yet, but there's a space that, they're looking for. Health person they're looking for, or EMS if they were considered that. Part of it is.
Okay,
Definitely.
number 19, Belfast Days, Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yes, I just wanted to give a short and sweet update. Belfast Days, the donations that came in for Belfast Days was $2,000 for
Holy
Make-A-Wish.
Oh,
Wow,
Good.
good job.
Biggest donation amount to date.
Congratulations.
Very happy.
Portland.
Thank you.
Okay, meeting with MP Kent McDonald and Minister Valdez on August the 8th, Wood Islands Lighthouse.
I'm combining, numbers,
20 and 22.
20 and 22. So,
Okay.
I had the opportunity to represent the RMB office at the Wood Islands Lighthouse and Heritage Museum on 2 recent occasions. On August 8th, I attended a welcome and support with Kent McDonald, who was on giving a tour to Minister Valdez, highlighting the importance of the Lighthouse Museum and the role it plays in preserving and promoting our local history and heritage. I also attended the 150th birthday celebration on August 15th for our Wood Islands Lighthouse, joining the community and celebrating this important milestone and recognizing the volunteers and supporters who continue to preserve this significant piece of history. Both events were wonderful and a great way to support our local heritage. It was really nice to have the opportunity to represent this office at 2 social events in the past month. So thank you. That's all.
just to add to that, Mayor Gillis and myself also attended
Yes,
August
Yes,
8th.
that's right.
I don't think you were there for that part, but, Kent was also working very hard on Minister Valdez on the ferry service.
Okay.
Cause she sits on a committee that will ultimately be discussing and making choices, regarding funding.
Great.
So he was really working that,
Good. Everyone was working hard.
yeah, it really was. The lighthouse is gorgeously done over now.
Beautiful.
They did, yeah.
If you
absolutely.
haven't gone for a tour yet, it's really, really
Absolutely
stunning.
beautiful, yeah,
Yeah.
and they have a whole section on the history of the ferry,
Mhm.
and so he was working pretty hard up there to explain the process and the
It was a
fire,
work
the
day.
history,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a whole thing, so.
Thank you
yeah,
for coming,
well
for
done.
both of you as well, yes.
Continued can post operations for in the Bell River, PEI.
So for the benefit of the live stream, I will read out the information. It's item 21 is continued Canada Post operation in Bell River, PEI. On July 20th, Canada Post sent a confirmation email of discussion with our Mayor Garth Gillis confirming that a post office in your community, option 1, was the preferred option for this municipality. And that if they were unsuccessful in finding an appropriate contractor in the current location, Canada Post would move the postal operation to Montague, either temporarily or permanently. Tricia Carter and current RMB councillor, the previous postmaster with the post office location at their location of Gala Designs, has arranged for a replacement contractor in the current location and is asking council's support to keep the post office operation in the current Bell River post office location. And that's up for council discussion. The email specifically said, "Hi, Mr. Gillis. As a follow-up to our conversation yesterday, please find enclosed a letter outlining Canada Post community outreach process. During our discussion, the following information was shared," and I have to express my disappointment. They sent us the process letter from 2022, which had nothing to do with this one other than, so anyway, just pissed me off.
Leave.
Anyway, 1, you confirmed that your role as mayor of Belfast municipality included the areas of Bell River and Wood Island. 2, you confirmed that as the community leader for Bell River, you selected option 1, a post office in your community. As such, we will attempt to staff the postmaster role for Bell River. The successful candidate will need to meet Canada Post requirements for the position, as well as provide appropriate accommodations to house a post office, which is currently where they're at. 3, finally, I confirmed that if Canada Post is unsuccessful in staffing a suitable candidate that can provide appropriate accommodations meeting all of Canada Post's specification, option 2, which is transfer to a post office in a neighboring community, which has been designated as the town of Montague, as a temporary basis, may become Canada Post's permanent solution. I look forward to future correspondence with you on this matter. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at your convenience. Thank you, Brian Hurley, Canada Post. So should RMB Council wish to pursue the option of keeping the Bell River Post Office in the current location, a follow-up letter under the mayor's signature is recommended, and that's what I'm recommending, that we do a follow-up letter suggesting that we keep the post office in the current location.
Can I just ask, so this is different to what the ask from Councillor Carter was though, right?
Correct. Councillor
Okay.
Carter, what she said is, we already have a contractor in the current location.
Yeah,
Actually, it's not different, it's the same.
Okay.
She's saying, we already have somebody that's there.
mhm,
That person has been trained already.
yeah,
And basically, if Canada Post gives the okay, they should be able to stay there, and she's asking for a letter of support to do just that.
okay. So are they trying to discontinue the service or
No.
they're just trying to,
No, they're
like,
giving us,
she's trying to shift who's operating?
yes.
And so is there concern that they're going to dissolve the post office?
No,
or
they have
They just
two
need the
options.
support. Okay,
They have two options. Keep it where it is
yeah,
if the contractor that's there is appropriate, And if not, they want to move it to Montague.
Okay,
So we're trying to make sure they don't move it to Montague
okay,
and keep it in the current location.
okay. Sorry, I just had some confusion around.
Well, if they can't keep it in the current location, I'd suggest that, we should ask them to transfer it to Eldon. There's a post office there and there's a post mistress.
That wasn't an option.
Not
Why
enough
not?
space.
They said
They
if
have
it,
one in Eldon.
they said if it's not appropriate in the current location, the only other option is to go to Montague. As you know, there is already a post office in Eldon.
That's right. So why don't they just move it there?
It's at capacity.
Oh,
different-
come on. It's not.
it's a different postal code.
Right beside it. It's nowhere near
It's a
capacity.
different postal code. You can't just throw it there.
So basically,
So
what they're
COA
saying is
oh,
we
no,
already
no,
have
it's
a,
just Montague, it's a different postal code. Be okay to move it there, but it would be okay to move it to Eldon.
That's what they say.
I think you're nuts.
Okay.
yeah, so basically,
County vote.
they've given us two options. Either
Well, I think
we
should.
keep it where it is, or they move it to Montague. That's the only two options they gave us.
So I think,
Just a second now, because the post office in Eldon, I don't know when Connie is going to retire, but she's getting off the post-retirement age or something or other now. So are they going to move it to Montague too, or are we gonna, why don't they consolidate the two post offices, give that as an option to them? And maybe move it to a more central location, like the old fire hall building would be a good location for it. Central to the community. Present them with options.
but I think right now, like, they're not actively looking to get rid of it. It's just that they need our support to say it's okay that someone who doesn't live at the property operates the property. And there is a contract, Trish has worked that out with this lady, and so
Which provides a local job for.
Exactly,
And she's
exactly.
been trained, by the way,
So
by the Canada Post.
Yeah, so I think rather than, my suggestion personally would be if you start giving them options to completely remove something, they'll probably
Yeah,
take
go to
that,
Montague,
given,
yeah.
given, the financial straits
I
that
just
they're
want-
in. So I think we should,
I
for the
just-
council
I
support.
just want to replace the town of Montague with the village of Eldon on a temporary basis, become Canada's post permanent solution.
In which case, since we don't have a unanimous feeling, I would need a motion to the suggestion about sending Bell River, Canada Post a letter to follow up with the mayor's recommendation of keeping it in the same location.
Yeah, that's my personal feeling, is that
Okay.
we only.
So I need a
Motion
motion and
for
a
that?
seconder.
I'll make a motion for that. And the reason why is if we give them two options, then they might cop out and take
Yeah.
that second option. So I think for start, we give them one option that says, we're happy with this. Trish is happy with this. The other lady, sorry, I don't remember her name, is happy with this. And then if they come back after that and say, no, sorry, we're not gonna do that, then we offer Eldon. If Connie is in
If
agreement,
that's
and
even
if that's
an option.
okay, exactly, exactly.
Need a seconder.
Seconder for that
I'll
motion?
second.
Second from Billy. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays?
Okay, hearing none, that's a unanimous then.
And I also apologize for not responding to that email, because I just misunderstood what the ask was.
Oh, but three.
Okay, is there new business?
Yes, I have one, and that's the excused absence of Counselor McGivern for personal matter. Can I have a mover and a seconder for an excused absence?
I will move that.
I'll second.
Sorry, who was the second?
I was.
Catherine. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays?
Thank you.
Okay, motion carried. Our next meeting, the regular council meeting, will be Wednesday, September the 16th, 2026 at 7 at the RMB office. And municipal general election is Monday, November 2nd.
Yes, I thought I would start putting that in on our thing because it's basically 2.5 months away. And Ashley and I are going to be very busy over the next little while because there's a lot of training and stipulations that elections PEI have in order for us to be able to run an election, so it's on the agenda from now until it happens.
Okay, and is there any further business? Move to adjourn by
I'll move to adjourn.
I'm impressed.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye, Facebook.
Have a good night, Ross.
At 7:54.
So the in-camera's not